Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be doing a bit of abstract painting in our craft journal just for something fun. So I'm starting off in my journal the way I tend to start off when I'm not sure what I'm doing and putting down some patches of colour. So today I'm using the new Dina Wakley colours that she's just released in at the end of March, which are very, very springy type colours, which I really love. Very quite different from the usual palette I would use. I don't tend to go into pastels all that much, but these are sort of on the brightish end, which I really quite like. Going straight on to a craft journal page, which I haven't sealed. So the colour is a little bit darker than it would be on a white page, for example. So once I've finished, then I'm going in and just doing some random mark making. So there's the paintbrushes I'm using are some of the Dina's new paintbrushes as well. She's released some round brushes in a number of different sizes. I'm not only using the brush end, but I'm using the bottom end to create dots across my page too. So if you haven't guessed, I'm a use what's around me person. Um, I don't tend to have things like cotton buds and dotty tools in my stash, so I'll just use the end of my paintbrush if I want to do something like that. You can see the difference when I put those paint colours over the top of a sealed surface and how much brighter they are. So that yellow in the second layer is much brighter than that layer in the first layer, and that's because it's being affected by the craft paper underneath. Just going in and doing some really simple random shapes, so some dots, some dashes, some circles, just trying a few different things to get the page the way I want it. Once I've finished, then I'm going in with some stenciling, just using a little bit of this text stencil over the top. Because I'd loaded up my paintbrush a little, my sponge a little bit much, it did sort of go a bit funny underneath. So I wiped it off and started to do it again. So I just wanted it pretty light in the background. And that's one of the reasons why I love working on acrylic pages, is because if you do make a mistake, you can just wipe it away with wet wipe before it's dry, which is really, really handy. I found some of these really big Posca, I think they're called mop pens. They've got sort of like this big splodgy end that you can sort of slam down onto the page and make these cool little splats on your page. So they do take a little while to dry though. But I really like the effect of that on my page. Once I finish that, then I'm going in with some of Dina's glossies in the Radical? No, Bodacious. I think it's Bodacious. I can't remember. But a really bright pink, the neon pink, and dripping it down the page. I just wanted a really sort of bright point on the page and having those drips coming down. So again, that takes just a little while to dry. And while I was doing that, I was going in with these gorgeous seed pod stamps, which is from the Boldly Botanical stamp set that she's released as well. So there's two different sets of seed pods. I accidentally dropped dropped one, so I only had one in my hand at the moment to finish these. And just as my black ink, I gone in and stamped them sort of in the corner of the page, and I'm just drying it off. Great thing about bold stamps like this, if you don't quite get to the bottom, you can use a black pen and fill it in. And then going in with my white Posca paint pan and just adding some little details onto it. So really, really rough drawing over the top, a little bit of squiggle, some dots down the side for a little bit of shading, just to add sort of that hand-drawn element to the page. Then I decided I was going to add a quote to the page. So I'm busy looking up a quote that I wanted to put on my page around seeds or being bold around that. And I came across the quote, "Sow the seeds of tomorrow," which I really, really liked. I was just trying to work out how I wanted to write tomorrow, whether I wanted to write it across the seed pods, where I wanted to put it sort of in chunks of letters, but the teacher and me struggled with that idea. So you can see me sort of trying it out on my my mat first, whether I liked that idea. I've written a quote out in green pen because I wanted it to kind of blend in with the background. So you can see me starting to write that on my page and I didn't like it, so I decided to just write it across. And again, the benefits of wet acrylic paint is you can rub it off if you don't like it. So I think I saw down the bottom was going, sow the seeds of tomorrow, girl, and I didn't like the girl, so I just got rid of it. Once I finish, then I'm going around with my black pen and doing a drop shadow, and you can see immediately how that pushes the letters out from the background. It just gives them that focus in the foreground, which is what I really, really wanted for this page. So you can do your lettering in any colours you want. It doesn't necessarily always have to be black and white. So in this case, it's a green because I wanted to sort of blend in with the background a little bit. You can also fully outline your letters. I haven't in this case, but I am going back in with a white pen to go around the letters as well. So I'm still leaving the black drop shadow, but I'm outlining the entire letter with a white pen. So you sort of really get a sense of where the letters are and what they're doing. You know, I could have done that with a black pen if I wanted to. I could have done it with a grey pen. Quite often you'll see me using a grey pen to do the drop shadows. But because the colour of the font was so close to some of the colours in the background, I wanted to have something quite dramatic with the drop shadow, so it really, really stood out. So once I've finished doing my lettering, the page is complete. So you can sort of see how that lettering works, how it floats on top of those seed pods. They look like they're trapped in the middle. And that's the entire page where you can see the stenciling and the mark making in the background. So I hope you have a go at something like that. It's a really, really simple page to do. You don't have to think about it very much. Just chucking a few colours together, putting some marks over the top, and a really simple image. But it's a good starting place, particularly if someone who's starting with art journaling. So I hope that's really helped you. Until next time, bye for now.